Have you ever imagined a world where time itself comes to a complete stop? Not just a pause in your schedule, but a literal freeze of everything around you: people, animals, vehicles, even rivers and clouds suspended in midair. You, alone, can still move. How would this feel? What would you see? And most importantly, what would happen scientifically if time actually stopped for 1 hour? Today, we are going to dive deep into this fascinating thought experiment, exploring physics, biology, psychology, and even philosophy, to understand what a 1 hour freeze of time could really mean. 1. Understanding time. The backbone of reality. Time is not just a ticking clock or a calendar on your wall. In physics, time is a fundamental dimension, intertwined with space to form what we call the space-time continuum. According to Einstein's theory of relativity, time can stretch, bend, and flow differently depending on speed and gravity. Time is relative. Astronauts orbiting Earth experience tiny differences in time compared to people on the surface. Time governs everything, from chemical reactions to the rotation of planets. Every process in the universe relies on the forward motion of time. So, if we could stop time, we'd be challenging one of the universe's most fundamental rules. But let's imagine it anyway. 2. Walking through a frozen world. Imagine stepping outside during this 1 hour freeze. Streets are silent. People are frozen mid-step, mid-con. Birds hang motionless in the sky. Even the wind is stopped. But moving in this frozen environment is not as simple as it sounds. Air molecules frozen. Normally, we breathe in oxygen constantly. If air molecules are frozen, you wouldn't be able to inhale. They aren't moving. Temperature and touch. Touching objects would feel strange because heat transfer relies on moving molecules. Your hands might feel icy or strangely inert. Interactions with frozen matter. Imagine trying to open a door. The hinges are frozen in place. Even if you apply force, the mechanics of movement may not work as expected. 3. Gravity and the laws of physics. Gravity is the bending of space-time caused by mass. If time freezes, do objects still fall? Would gravity itself pause? If gravity stops along with time, objects might hover midair. Imagine cars and buses floating, rivers suspended, waterfalls frozen like crystal. If gravity continues while time is frozen, touching a moving object could be fatal because its momentum was frozen and suddenly restored when time resumes. 4. Biological impacts. Life in pause mode. Time governs life itself. Our bodies rely on countless molecular reactions. Heart and blood. Your heart beats. Blood flows, and cells respire thanks to time-dependent chemical reactions. If you're the only one moving, your body might work, but interacting with frozen matter becomes risky. Food and water. Eating or drinking would be impossible. Chemical processes in food are frozen, and water molecules cannot flow into your body. Neurons and perception. Your brain can think and perceive, but interacting with the frozen world would create surreal experiences. Walking through a frozen crowd would be like navigating a museum of frozen humans. 5. Psychological effects of absolute stillness. Being alone in a world without movement for an hour would be both fascinating and terrifying. At first, freedom. No rules, no traffic, no interruptions. You could explore normally crowded areas freely. After a while, eerie silence and stillness can become overwhelming. Humans are wired to perceive motion and change. A frozen world can trigger anxiety, disorientation, and existential reflection. 6. Speculative scenarios. Let's imagine variations of the time stop. Scenario 1. Only humans freeze. Nature continues. Trees sway, rivers flow, clouds drift, but all people are motionless. Walking through a moving world of nature would feel surreal, almost magical. Scenario 2. Only you freeze. The world continues normally. You can observe events without interference, essentially invisible to everyone. This could be fascinating or riving depending on what you witness. Scenario 3. Partial time stop. Perhaps only certain molecules stop, or only certain areas of the universe are frozen. This creates chaotic interactions, like a liquid frozen mid-splash. 7. Philosophical reflections. A time freeze makes us reflect on the nature of reality. Are we defined by motion? If everything is frozen, what does existence mean? Memory is independent of time. During the freeze, only your consciousness experiences the event. Is this the ultimate private reality? The fleeting nature of life becomes more apparent when contrasted with a world that stands still. 8. Returning to normal when the hour ends. Everything resumes. People move. Rivers flow. The wind blows. For the rest of the world, nothing unusual happened but for you. An entire hour of extraordinary experiences has passed. A secret that no one else could ever know. 9. Fun, what would you do? Ideas. Explore famous places without crowds. Witness natural disasters frozen mid-motion. Rearrange objects and create playful chaos. Reflect on life in solitude and absolute stillness. Conclusion: stopping time for 1 hour may never be possible, according to today's physics, but imagining it stretches our understanding of reality, consciousness, and the universe. It teaches us to value every moment and, perhaps, to dream a little bigger. If this video sparked your curiosity, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below with your own ideas. What would you do if you could move while the world stood still?